You know, when I came back to YouTube, I wanted to talk about some great games, games that really make you proud of being called a gamer. But then I come back on my return video and the comments I see are about reviewing Napoleon Total War. I mean, I know that I'm obligated to review every Total War game ever made, but damn, really? Like, you don't want me to review any other ones like Napoleon? Like, I thought you guys loved me. How you gonna do this to me? So I don't want this game to force me to disappear again, so I'm gonna make this as quick as possible. I don't recommend it. It's one of the worst Total War games I've ever played. If you want that time period, just play Empire instead and go along on your merry way. This is Pow3rh0use signing off.
Hey Papa, where you think you going?
Oh hey, Uncle Ramon. Yeah, I just finished my review of Napoleon Total War, so I'm trying to get the hell out of here.
Finish? Man, I remember back in the day, you used to love to review Total War. Man, those were the good old days.
Yeah, because those were better games. Now, can you just go? I need a...
You see this chancleta? You see this correa? If you don't finish, you're gonna be spending time with these friends of mine.
Whoa, chill. I got my motivation back. Hold on.
Okay, God bless you, Papa.
The struggles of being Hispanic.
Okay, let's get to work. So Napoleon Total War was released in 2010. Originally, it was designed to be an expansion pack to Empire Total War, which makes sense after you play it. But in development, they changed it to be its own standalone title due to quote-unquote major changes to the engine. Well, I've played this game long enough and I don't see these major changes. Most of them are minor at best, but let's save that for later.
Now, I can just dive right in and get into the main flaws early, but I think it's best just to get the positives out the way first.
As always, the graphics and presentation are top-notch and a step above Empire. The soundtrack is also great as it fits the campaign seamlessly. Oh, and the intro scene is incredibly well done. It is very thematic and sets the tone for the rest of the campaign. But the ending for this intro kills the tone for me every time. You can just add anything you want here. Oh man, I wanted that ship. Obviously, the focus of this game is on Napoleon and his rise to power when he eventually becomes into power. The game contains 3 campaigns dealing with Italy, Egypt, and Europe respectively. Only Italy is playable at first while the other 2 are locked. So let's begin this linear slog with the Italian campaign. It starts out with a decent intro and already I see a huge problem with this game.
What I love about Total War is the ability to play with history. Well, you can't really do that in Napoleon Total War because you're just reenacting Napoleon's conquest. Heck, you can't really manipulate the conquest in your own way. Because of the way the maps are set up, there really is only one way to go.
Just like in all other Total Wars, you get objectives that can be completed. Some of these can be ignored, but most of them you'll complete anyways since it stands between you and the main objective. All the campaigns progress a half a month per turn. Because of this, it takes 2 turns to raise standard line infantry. It makes the game feel even longer than necessary when it really isn't. Now, linearity is not often a bad thing, but it must be supported with great combat. Unfortunately, that's another area where Napoleon drops the ball. The combat is literally a slower version of Empire Total War, as if Empire Total War wasn't slow enough. The biggest issue is just how much freaking morale everyone has. Even militia will still hold their ground when they have less than 40% troops. And once they do break, they tend to recover as soon as they get to the edge of the map, unless you send cavalry to run them down. While it's always cool to see thousands of troops duking it out, it quickly loses its appeal when you realize you won't be doing much. Even great positioning and flanking doesn't seem to have that drastic of an effect like in other titles in the series. For what little has been added, I'm surprised the AI wasn't improved upon all that much. The battle AI seems to be a bit better than Empire, but the campaign AI is still pretty bad. They tend not to attack and just bottle their troops in one position.
By the way, if you want to play this game, which I don't know why at this point, do not play the game on normal difficulty. At least play it on hard. If you do, it's gonna be incredibly boring.
Okay, I feel like I keep beating around the bush about these supposed changes, so let's just talk about them. For the first change, we have drop-in battles for the campaign. To be fair, I do like the new ability to pick your general when you recruit one. The better generals to choose from are more expensive, It gives you a feeling of control of who you want to lead your armies.
The only real major addition is the multiplayer campaign, and while I would have liked for it to be introduced in Empire, I'm fine with it being here. The problem is, I can't show you any footage because I can't get it to freaking work.
Oh, and there's also a feature where certain generals don't actually die in battle, they just get wounded. So when you defeat somebody like Napoleon, he's gone from the battle, but he'll return back in the capital. After 30 minutes, I reflected on the time wasted and said, is this what my life has really come to? This game is so boring, I literally can't keep myself from getting distracted. I'm serious. When I was getting footage for the game, I literally stopped playing to discuss life lessons to one of my boys.
Heck, I'd rather do anything else right now. Speaking of which.
Hey, Papa, how the review going, man?
Yeah, I'm almost done with it. Just taking a bit of a break.
Well, that's okay, Papa. We all need to relax. I'm just here cooking the rice. It's gonna be really good. Trust me, Papa. By the way, it's really good that you're gonna relax because, man, when I was your age, I never did that. I always pushed myself too hard. And now that I'm older, man, I regret it. I really should have took the time to relax. You know, the secret to good food is adobo. If you don't have adobo, man, your meal will crumble. Have you ever been to a restaurant and the food was good and you never saw the chef? That's because the chef is probably Hispanic, comprende? And they don't want to give us credit because he probably got adobo and he probably got sazon, but they don't want to give us credit for it, comprende?
Yeah, I have to go. I still need to finish the review.
Oh, that's fine, Papa. You know, it's good that you're gonna get it done because if not, you're gonna have to spend time with Mrs. Chancleta. And man, she's not the type of woman you wanna deal with.
Now, where the hell was I?
So after a few long hours, I finished the Italian campaign. Unfortunately, I have 2 more campaigns to do. Egypt and Europe. I started the Egypt campaign and this is really when I struggled to continue. It felt like such a linear and boring slog, I just gave up. Sorry, but I would rather fail a campaign 100 times in Shogun 2 rather than complete one in Napoleon.
What sucks is the Europe campaign is the actual grand campaign for France. But too bad at this point I just don't feel like continuing. Hey. I'll make it up. I'll just review the other campaigns. That'll be fun, right?
The first of these other campaigns is the Coalition campaign. It's the grand campaign with Austria, Great Britain, Prussia, and Russia as selectable factions. So I picked Russia and honestly, I was enjoying myself for a bit. It felt like a slightly smaller scale of Empire Total War, and I was able to actually decide on who or what I would like to go after. Heck, even the battles were more enjoyable with better unit variety. However, the same issues remained with the combat, so it began to grow stale after a few turns. The next and thankfully last campaign is the Peninsular campaign. As the name suggests, the focus is on the Iberian Peninsula. Spain, Great Britain, and France are playable. I went with Spain cause Spanish.
That's right, Papa. You better pick Spain. Hey, did I ever tell you about the story of Pow3rh0use the Crusader? Man, Pow3rh0use, he was such a great man. He really believed in God. It wasn't that he became it just for the money and the fame. He actually...
Can I finish the review?
Man, I just wanted to tell you a story.
Anyways, France has most of it captured, but similar to the Western Roman Empire in Rome 2, they face opposition from all the other factions in addition to eternal strife. Spain, Great Britain, and Portugal, who's unplayable for some reason, are united to drive France off the map. Religion has been replaced by pro and anti-France alignment. As Spain, you'll need to rely on using agents to start revolts and convert the population to your side. It's an interesting mechanic and is vital, and you can't really brute force France at first. But that's enough about that campaign. Outside of the campaigns, there are battles you can play, but there's really not much I have to say about them at this point, and I'm gonna fall asleep if I spend more time with this game. Overall, this game is really unnecessary and really should have been an expansion to Empire rather than its own game. The lack of improvements or additions don't warrant a full standalone release. Say what you want about Empire Total War, but at least it was ambitious. Sure, it wasn't the most polished product from Creative Assembly, and I did have my issues with it, but it's a hell of a lot more interesting than this title. But at the end of the day, if you enjoy it, that's fine with me. I ain't judging.
And now I'm done. And I think my uncle might be too. So thank you guys for watching. There's going to be many more great reviews to come. Next time it's going to be Soul Calibur 6. Looking forward to it. Got a special review plan for that, and I hope you enjoy it. As always, thank you guys for watching. And this is Pow3rh0use signing off.